You're right about that, Scott. Former Buffalo Police Commissioner Joe Gramaglia is joining me, coming back from Syracuse to join us here to talk about what happened here 4 years ago today. I look at pictures, I look at video. You were standing on these grounds. Take me back to that day when you got that call.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough reminder, and I, just came from home and I traveled the exact same route that I did 4 years ago coming here, and it's, you obviously think about the day, but coming here and actually coming to do this interview and being here, it's certainly more impactful. It was, definitely getting on scene. It hit me very hard. Kind of had to, transition quick and get into work mode. But, just remembering the officers that were here, the families, the people that were out here, and how it impacted everybody.
How quickly did you know that this was really domestic terrorism, a white supremacist? How quickly did you know?
We knew very quick. I mean, obviously, it's been widely shown the writings that were on the three different weapons. Probably by the third phone call I got on the way here, I was informed of what they had discovered, and that why it was so important to call it for what it was. It's about the same time now. We went live with our first press conference. It was about 5:30, and we called it for what it was that day because the community needed to hear that. They knew it. They just needed to hear it.
I remember that day because I was with Scott Levin, and we remember your press conference. Now when you see officers come to the scene, and young officers, do they have to be reminded about what happened here and what to look out for? What has changed in the police department? I know you're not there now, but something had to have changed.
Well, we certainly made changes to, how we follow up and how we investigated any type of threats with the temporary extreme risk protection orders, and that was already in process of coming together. We certainly put a unit together and how those were actually handled. There were no pre-warnings about this attack, but the idea is to do your best to try to find what you can and prevent anything else from happening. I think some of the other thing is the wellness. And not only for the community, obviously there's been a lot of care for members of the community and certainly the victims that were impacted here, the families, but our officers as well. So there was an officer that was specifically designated in that role, in that capacity, and there were programs that were put together. It had a significant impact on everybody that worked here.
And I know as we wrap this up, we have about 20 seconds left. While your heart goes out to all of the victims, you knew Salter, so that had to hit differently.
Yeah, I never worked in the same station with them, but I certainly had them in passing, and I certainly knew him. I'd see him down at the arena for different events, and yeah, that certainly hit hard. And you know what? He'd been retired for I think it was about 4 years at the time. But as I said before, he put the badge back on that day, and he went to work, and he did tremendous work. He saved a lot of lives that day, and I don't know that impact is truly understood by everybody, but he saved a lot of lives that day.
We appreciate you coming on with us at 5:30. This is former Buffalo Police Commissioner Joe Gramaglia joining us to talk about what happened on that fateful day here on these grounds. We want to switch gears a little bit because we know that there is work continuing behind the scenes